Yu-Gi-Oh! Is incredibly overpowered. In terms of cosmology, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is revealed to have at least 12 universes in GX, along with many other parallel dimensions, such as the Banished Zone and the Shadow Realm. However, in the Dark Side of Dimensions and Dark V, it's revealed that there are infinite universes and that the verse operates on many worlds theory. Beyond the multiverse exist higher dimensional spaces, such as the 5-dimensional world. As far as power goes, this verse is an absolute beast. Even early into the series, we've seen Soldier of Stone destroy a moon that looks identical to our own. 96 is also seen generating galaxy-sized explosions very casually while fighting Yuma. The verse also canonically contains an insane amount of monsters whose mere existence outscales most of shonen verses out there. Notable examples include the Star Eater, Helios, and the Dyson Sphere, all of which are bigger than actual stars. But even this is practically nothing, as there exist monsters such as the Cosmos Princess and Master Hyperion, who dwarf entire solar system, the former of which is seen casually carrying stars and planets around, eating black holes, and freaking planets across entire solar systems. But even this is practically nothing once we get to the Anotherverse monsters, who dwarf entire galaxies and can hold supermassive black holes. There also exists a monster by the name of Magicalibra, which is large enough to hold all of the stars in the universe and moves them around as it pleases. This would easily be a universal being. And then we have an absolute beast by the name of Metaphys Executor, who literally dwarfs entire universes and has dozens of universes attached to his feet. This guy's mere existence alone and sheer mass is already multiversal. Not just wall multiversal, but outright multiversal. And remember that in terms of war, all of these monsters scale below the likes of the Egyptian gods and the Blue Eyes White Dragon. This isn't really hard to believe, seeing how even Yubel was literally going to destroy 12 universes and merge them into a singular universe. In fact, even Bakura has previously created an entire parallel past world from the memories of Atem, and changes in that past world he created led to the actual present also starting to change, which proves that this was a physical world. In a similar world, the fragment of Orichalcos is seen containing an entire outer space inside of it. In Arc V, duelists are also capable of splitting the universe into 4 separate universes. And we also have countless statements of characters such as Exodia, Obelisk, Orichalcos, and many others having infinite power, and even characters such as the legendary knights having greater power than that of infinity itself. Yuya's monsters are also stated to control space-time and terrain in the 5th dimension, which does imply that they are potentially more complex multiversal. 96 power is also stated to have surpassed all of creation, and he is stated to be able to destroy both the astral world and the real world, with the astral world being referred to as a higher dimensional universe. And it's not just the monster that is strong, the actual characters in the verse are also equally powerful. We have examples such as Yusei surviving a black hole, Atem surviving a blast that destroyed Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, who scales over Exodia and the Egyptian gods, Kaiba and Yugi having survived a clash that warped space and time to a high enough level to send them to the past, and Atem and Prince Set also surviving attacks from Zork on many instances, some of which are directly stated to scale over the Egyptian gods. In fact, even Shadi was able to stop a direct blow from Zork, using nothing but his own power. This would easily put the likes of Atem at multiverse levels of power physically, and means he actually scales over a lot of the extremely powerful monsters we see in the verse. This is consistent with Wars, since we know that humans have managed to seal away those monsters into cards to begin with. It can also be argued that these characters actually reach 5-dimensional levels of power, given how Kaiba was able to accelerate his neurons infinitely and ascend to a higher dimension. The characters also have access to many broken spell and trap cards, such as meteors, black holes, white holes, time-tearing spells, super polymerization, or destruction of the universe, just to name a few. It's also noteworthy that the characters are able to use all of their spells, traps, and monsters without the need of being in a game, contrary to popular belief. We've seen Judai and Atem, for example, summon their monsters in the show outside of games to help them with real-life situations. Yubel was also literally going to use super polymerization out to destroy all 12 universes, so there's that as well. Even in Jump Force, we see Kaiba and Yugi being able to use trap cards and spell cards in real actual combat situations outside of games. This makes perfect sense given the fact that monsters and spells and even traps were sealed into cards and existed in the real world in the first place. And yes, this does mean that every single spell and trap card in the verse is an actual hacks ability that exists. This isn't really hard to believe, seeing how we saw Atem being able to revive the Egyptian gods, which is basically Monster Reborn. But what about speed? There is the misconception that the characters aren't fast, but that's quite silly to say. Even at the start of the manga, Soldier of Stone destroyed a moon that is located in outer space from Earth in about a second, which is easily light speed. Silvert is also noted to have light speed attacks. Yusei can also surpass light verbatim and escape a black hole. Beyond that, we have monsters such as the Cosmos Princess, Helios, and the Anotherverse archetype monsters, who in their very nature are massively faster than Light Plus given their size. Especially seeing how the Cosmos Princess can casually flick a planet across the entire solar system at MFDO plus speeds. Even low-tier monsters are stated to have traveled to Earth from other galaxies and other dimensions, and the Magicalibra is stated to move stars throughout the universe, which too makes them massively faster than Light Plus. There is also 96 Galactics casually sending blasts throughout multiple galaxies while fighting humor, and cards such as Galactic Charity that depict quick intergalactic travel. So by all means, monsters in the verse are easily reaching MFDO+. Characters like Atem can react to Zork's attacks, and we've also seen Atem throw attacks at a speed comparable to that of Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon, which in turn grants him massively faster Knight plus combat and reaction speeds. Although it is possible to argue that they are actually infinite in speed via the fact that the universe in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is likely infinite, and we have monsters who can move across it and have outright created it.